We go on continuation from our last lesson on construction of angles. We go on to the construction of angle 90 degrees and 45 degrees. Construction of angle 90 degrees and 45. Previously we dealt with 60 and 30. Now we are going to construct 90 degrees and 45 degrees. Let's see how do we construct 90 degrees and 45 degrees. Steps to construct 90 degrees. Steps to construct 90 degrees. Take a ray OA. I tell you what is a ray line in the beginning of the lessons. So we take a ray OA with O as the center and any convenient radius. Draw an arc cutting OA at B with A as the center. Draw an arc cutting OA at B at any convenient radius. That's the second step. The third step, with B as the center and the same radius as OA, draw an arc cutting the first at C. Step 4, with C as the center and at the same radius, cut off an arc cutting again the first arc at D. Then step 5, with C and D as centers and radius of more than half of CD, draw two arcs cutting each other at E. Join OE. Let's do that. What is the first step? Take any ray, OA. All right, we do the construction. We take any ray. This is our ray, and we name it OA. That's the first step. Then the next step, with center O and any convenient radius, draw an arc cutting OA at B. With center O and any convenient radius, draw an arc cutting OA at B. So we do that with center O and any convenient radius. So to do that, we have to get our compass with center O and any convenient radius. This is convenient to me. Sorry, this is the radius convenient to me. We draw an arc. That's an arc we have drawn, and where the arc is cutting the ray OA is the point B. That is point B where the arc is cutting the ray. This is B. We go to the next step. We take a ray, then the next step is step 3, with B as the center and the same radius, draw an arc cutting the first arc at C. With B as the center, draw an arc cutting the first one at C. So B is going to be the center. That's B as the center. We draw an arc cutting the first one at C. That is point C where the arc intersect. This point here we have it as C. Our next step is with C as the center, and the same radius, cut off an arc cutting again the first arc at D. with C as the center. Cut off and act, cutting again the first one at D. So we have this C as the center and the same radius. So not change the radius. We cut off another act, cutting the first one at D. That's the act. It is cutting the first one now at D. So the point of intersection between the acts is D. I'll put this. This is the point of intersection. Our that point is D. We look at the next step. The next step with C and D as centers and radius more than half of CD, with C and D as center and radius more than half of CD, draw two arcs cutting each other at E, with C and D as the center. C and D will be our centers. First at C, after C then D as the centers. We draw two arcs cutting each other at E. The radius should be more than half of the length. So we draw two arcs. This is the first one, as C as your center, now D as the center. And the two arcs will cut each other at E. The point of intersection of the arc is E. The two arcs intersect at E. Draw the two arcs cutting each other at E. Join OE. So we join OE. This is E and this one here is O. We join them with a ruler. So we join that with a ruler. The blue line is the line OE, and that is the 90 degrees. So this is the way we construct 90 degrees. First we get any ray that is OA. Then after getting the ray, we open to any convenient radius. We draw an arc to cut OA at B. Then with B as the center, we draw another arc to cut the first arc at C, and C at the center as the center. We draw another arc to cut the first arc again at D. Then with C and D as centers, we draw arcs intersecting each other at E, and we join OE. So this is the way we construct 90 degrees. We look at another slice. Construct 90 degrees at a given point on the line. Construct 90 degrees at a given point on the line. It's just simple. You already learned how to construct perpendicular lines. So we said lines that meet at 90 degrees are perpendicular. So if you are asked to construct 90 degrees at a point on the line, you just have to construct a line that is perpendicular to the line that you are giving. So you just construct a perpendicular line to the point on the line. This is simple as you learn how to construct a line perpendicular to another line on a given point. So we take a line to do that. This is the line. Let me take the line a little down. The given point, we assume this is the given point, and that point, let's say, is K. We are constructing 90 degrees at K on this line. We construct 90 degrees at K on this line. The procedure is simple. You just construct a perpendicular at the point on the line. So this is the point on the line. We construct a perpendicular. We take our compass. We construct a perpendicular on that line. So to do that, we stand on the point K. You can remember, how do we construct perpendicular lines? Open to any convenient radius. Mark off arc, draw arc on the line. We have drawn arcs on the line. So we label this arc A, B. This is point A and B. What we do now, we use our compass. We stand at least more than half of the line AB. At least more than half of the line AB. So this is half. We have to go more than half of the line. So here is more than half of the line. We act on top of the line. We draw an arc on top of the line. Then we go to the other side, or down if you wish, if you want your angle to come from down. Then we draw another arc to cut the previous one. So the point of intersection of the two arcs, that's point C. We join C to K to have the 90 degrees at a point on the line. We join that with a ruler. So we rotate our ruler to get that. So we draw the line to get the 90 degrees. This line here is the green line, is perpendicular to the line AB. When they are perpendicular, they meet at a right angle. Since we are to construct a 90 degrees angle on any point on the line, we just draw or construct a line that is perpendicular to that line on the point. So this is the way we construct a 90 degrees angle on a point on the line. So we draw. So we draw a line from C to K. From C to K, that's our line on the point of intersection of the two arcs, then to K. So this is 90 degrees. This is the way we construct 90 degrees on a point, at a point on a line. We just construct a line perpendicular to the line we're giving at the point we are to construct the 90 degrees. So this is the way we do this. This is another way of constructing 90 degrees. And the other one was another previous way of constructing 90 degrees. This, I'm going to give you another way also to construct 90 degrees. I give you two ways. This is going to be the third way to construct 90 degrees. Let's look at that. You get a line, mark off a point on the line. So I'll mark off a point on the line. Take the compass and the point that I mark off, I'll name that point A. So stand with A as the center. With A as the center, you open to any convenient radius, any convenient radius. If you have your A as the center, draw an arc or draw a semicircle, cutting the line you have at at P and Q. Cutting the line at P and Q. With P as the center and the same radius as that of the semicircle, draw an arc to cut the semicircle. Draw an arc to cut the semicircle. With P as the center, draw an arc to cut the semicircle. Then, where it cuts the semicircle, level that point X. Then with Q now as the center, with Q as the center, draw an arc to cut the semicircle again, and the point where the arc is cutting the semicircle, that point we label it Y. So you have this semicircle on a straight line, and the semicircle is divided into 3 angles. We know angles in a semicircle is 180 and is also a straight line angle. So a straight line angle is 180. If you divide a straight line angles into 3 equal parts, you have 60, 60, 60. From P to X, the angle there is 60 degrees. XY is 60 degrees and QY is also 60 degrees. So we want to get 90. We just bisect the 60 in the middle. We get 30 added to the 60 at the other side and 30 added to the 60 at the other side. So we bisect the angle 30 degrees in the middle. To do that, you use Y as the center first, then draw an arc. Draw an arc. And now use X as the center. You draw another arc to cut the first one. Draw another arc to cut the first one. So where the 2 arcs are intersecting, we label that point R. Now we join AR to get the 90 degrees. We'll join AR to get the 90 degrees with a ruler. We join AR to get the 90 degrees. $90 degrees is what we are looking for. So you can see this angle is now 90 degrees. If you have RAQ is 90, RAP is also 90. in a nutshell, we bisect the 180 to get the 90 degrees. So this is another way we can construct a 90 degrees angle. Is that okay? We constructed 90 degrees angle in 3 ways. So I think that should be enough for 90 degrees. You can use any of these 3 ways to construct a 90 degrees angle. We go to the next slide. Construction of angle 45 degrees. How do we construct 45 degrees? That one is too easy. Having construct 90 degrees is going to be very easy to construct 45 degrees. We have steps to construct 45 degrees. We know half of 90 degrees is 45 degrees. Therefore, construction of 45 degrees, we first construct 90 and bisect it to get 45 degrees. We first construct 90 degrees and bisect it to get 45 degrees. The steps that we learn how to construct 90 is what we will use, any of them, to construct 90 degrees. If we finish constructing 90 degrees, we bisect the 90 degrees to get the 45 degrees. So let's do that quickly. First, what do? We construct 90 degrees. We have a line, 90 degrees first. We mark off point on the line. I use the last one that I just show you. So we mark off a point on the line. This is point P. So we construct 90 degrees at P. Compass. Stand at P. We are constructing 90 at P. Draw an arc on the line, open to any convenient radius. So we draw an arc on the line. And the arcs, we name them A, B. With B and A as centers, with A as center, we act above or below the line, depending on where you want your 90 degrees to fall. Open to any convenient radius, at least more than half of the line. So we act up and we do the same at B with the same radius. With the same radius, we move to B with the same radius. We make sure get the points properly. Then we act. We draw an arc to cut the previous arc. And the point of intersection, we label it C. And we draw a line from C to P to get the 90 degrees. So to do that, we get the ruler. (90 degrees) is the angle, and we should draw this line as a broken line because we are constructing 45 degrees. Let us take it a broken line. It's not the required angle that we are asked to construct, but it will help us to get the angle we want. So we use broken line to draw that. Use this one. So that angle here is 90 degrees. Now to get the 45, we bisect the 90 degrees. We use our compass to bisect 90 degrees. We talk about bisecting an angle. So already we have arcs there. If you want, you can bring other arcs on your own. So these arcs can serve as the arcs that we need. So we just have to use B as the center. Use B as the center. Draw an arc. So you mark off arcs from P. You mark off arcs from P. Any convenient radius. You mark off arcs from P. Any convenient radius. So we mark the arcs from P and any convenient radius. You can see the arcs we marked. We name the arcs we mark as, we name them as, let's say, X and Y. So we use Y as the center and any convenient radius. We use Y as the center and any convenient radius. That's Y as our center and any convenient radius. We can open a little. So we draw an arc. With the same radius, we go to X. With the same radius, we go to X. We draw another arc to cut the previous one. So where the two arcs are intersecting, that is point R. So we join PR to get the 45 degrees. We join PR to get the 45 degrees with a ruler. That's my ruler. We join PR to get the 45 degrees. This one we have to take the line. We cannot use broken line here because the angle we are asked to find is 45. So we draw our 45 degrees. So this angle we have here, that is RPB, is equals to 45 degrees. RPB is equals to 45 degrees. I don't need to talk on this that much or explain more on it because already you learn how to bisect angles. So to construct 45, you just need to bisect 90 degrees. We have constructed 90 degrees in 3 different ways. Any of these 3 ways, if you construct 90 degrees, just bisect it to get 45 degrees. So we go to the next slide. We have an example using a ruler and a pair of compasses only. Construct angle of 90 degrees at a point P. It should be at a point. Construct 90 degrees at point P and 30 degrees at point Q. Construct 90 degrees at point P and 30 degrees at point Q. So we do that and such that line PQ is 7 centimeter. So PQ is a line segment and that is 7 centimeter. First we get the line 7 centimeter. If you draw the line 7 centimeters should be your line. PQ is 7 centimeter. So if you measure, you'll see this is going to be the point P, and here is going to be our point Q at 7 centimeter. So we move that, we got our line, the measurement of the line. This is P, and this is point Q, and the distance apart is 7 centimeter. So we construct 90 degrees at P and 30 degrees at Q. So to do that, you learn how to construct 90 degrees. So one of the ways you will use it to construct 90 degrees, take our compass, we use P as the center because that is where we construct the 90 degrees. We use P as the center. So we use P as the center and construct 90 degrees at P, open to any convenient radius. Draw an arc. And the arc will be cutting the line PQ. Let's say where the arc cut the line PQ is point. Let's call that point A. Now A as the center. A as the center and the same radius. And the same radius. A as the center and the same radius. Draw another arc to cut the first one. That's another arc to cut the first one at B. This is cutting it at B. And with B as the center, the same radius, you draw another arc. The same radius, draw another arc to cut the first one again at C. At C. So C is the point where the arcs intersect. Now you bisect CB. You bisect the arc CB. B as the center, open to any convenient radius. B as the center, open to any convenient radius. Make sure you get it properly. You draw an arc and you go to C as the center. Make sure you get your points properly. You draw another arc to cut the previous arc. And where the arcs are intersecting, let's call that point D. So we join PD to get the 90 degrees with a ruler. We join PD to get the 90 degrees with a ruler. So we join PD to get our 90 degrees because we have to construct 90 degrees at P, and we construct 30 degrees at. So this is 90 degrees at P. We have done the first part of it. Now the second part is you construct 30 degrees at Q. So we do the same thing. You also learn how to construct 30 degrees in the previous lesson. So we bring the compass point at Q, that is where we will construct the 30 degrees, open to any convenient radius. You will construct 60 degrees and bisect it to get your 30 degrees. So we have that. We'll draw an arc to get the 60 degrees first. We draw an arc 60 degrees. That is our target. So we move, and our arc should be cutting the line PQ, let's say at R. So we use R as the center, draw another arc to cut the previous one. We use R as the center. R is our center. We draw another arc to cut the previous one. So we do that. That's where it cuts it. Let's label that part where it cuts the previous arc as, let's say, E. Now if you take your line, you join QE, you have 60 degrees. But your target is 30 degrees. So if you have to draw the line 60 degrees, you have to draw it with broken line. But you can also get your 30 degrees still without drawing the line. You will use the compass with center R. And any convenient radius, you draw an arc on the side where you want your 30 degrees to be, to bisect the 60. So you move to E now as your center. You draw another arc to cut the previous arc. So where the two arcs are intersecting, you join that one to Q. Where the two arcs intersect, you join it to Q. And let's call where the arcs intersect as, let's say, M, where the two arcs intersect. Now we will join QM to have the 30 degrees with a ruler. So we join QM to have the 30 degrees. We join QM. So you can see MQR is 30 degrees, or you call it RQM. That angle there is 30 degrees. This angle is 30 degrees, and here also the angle is 90 degrees. So the objective is to construct 90 degrees at P and 30 degrees at Q. So we have done that on the same line. So our line is 7 centimeter, which we also did. So for this question, this is all you need to do. We look at the next slide. The second example, using a ruler and a pair of compasses only, construct an angle of 60 degrees at A and 40 degrees at B, such that line AB is equals to 8 centimeter. We first get the line AB. We should do this one a little faster, having known the previous example. The line should be 8 centimeter. So we should have 8 centimeter. We bring our measuring tools. 8 centimeters should be our line. So if you look, you will see that This point here is 8 centimeter, sorry, 0 centimeter. 0 to 8 is what we have as 8 centimeter. So we'll have, this is A and B. The line AB is 8 centimeter. Then if we get our line, we construct 45 degrees at B and 60 degrees at A. So let's construct the 60 degrees at A. We get our compass for it. We construct the 60 degrees at A. We've constructed 60 degrees in the previous one because we were to construct 30, so we needed to construct 60 degrees. We draw an arc. So we stand where the arc and the line meets. Let me call that point C. The point where the arc and the line intersect, point C. So we use C as the center, and with the same radius, we draw another arc to cut the previous one. So where the two arcs are intersecting, we name that part D, and we draw a line DA to get our 60 degrees. So we go to DA to get the 60 degrees. So we get 60 degrees. DA is 60 degrees. That's the blue line. So angle A we have there 60 degrees. Now we go to B and construct 45 degrees. To construct 45 degrees, we have to construct 90 and bisect the 90 to get the 45 degrees. We go to B. We construct 90. Any of the three ways you learn, you can use. Just construct 90, that's the objective. I'll use the perpendicular method of constructing 90. So where the two arcs intersect with the line, I'll call it P, and R. So with centers P and R, with center P and at least more than half of the length PR, you draw an arc to get the 90, at least more than half. So you go to center R now, draw another arc to cut the previous arc. So where the two arcs are intersecting, that point I name Q. So we use the ruler to join BQ to have the 90 degrees at B. We use the ruler to join BQ to have the 90 degrees at B. So we have the 90 degrees. What are we constructing? We are constructing 45. So our 90 should be broken. We are constructing 45. So let me draw that line, a broken line. The 90 degrees line should be a broken line because we are constructing 45 degrees, not 90. So this is 90 degrees. Now we construct 45. We bisect the 90 this way or this other way, any of the way. So I bisected 60 degrees this side. Now I'll bisect the 90 degrees at the other side. We draw arcs. We stand at B. Draw arcs on the line, open to any convenient radius. We draw arc on the angle. Any convenient radius. So I draw arc. Then I go to the line also and draw an arc. Then the two arcs I'll use as center. I'll use this arc as center. Any convenient radius, draw another arc. Then you go to the other arc you've drawn before. Draw another arc to cut the previous arc. So where the two arcs intersect, this is the point where the arcs intersect. You can name that point of intersection, let's say J, for instance. So you join J and B to get the 45 degrees. You join J and B to get the 45 degrees with your ruler. You join J and B to get the 45 degrees with the ruler. So this is JB, we join it. I'll use the green line. So the green line is 45 degrees. So we have angle B 45 degrees and angle A 60 degrees. So the green line is for angle B and the blue line is for angle A. So our objective is just to construct 60 degrees at angle A and 45 degrees at angle B. So this is the way we construct 45 degrees at a line, and we have our line. The line is 8 centimeter, which we measure to be 8 centimeter, and we have the angles on it. The green line will help us to get the 45 degrees, and the blue one is for 60 degrees. So we look at the next slide. The diagram shows the construction for A, copying a given line, B, bisecting a line segment, C, drawing a perpendicular to given line, and D, bisecting a given angle. A say copying a given line. By looking at the diagram, you can tell we are not copying lines. So this will make A incorrect. A is not right. Copying a given line. Copying a given line. This one's copying a given line is not the right answer. Then bisecting a line, if there is nothing like bisection of line, we know what do we do when we are bisecting line. We act sideways of the line from both ends of the line. So here, nothing like that is happening. Nothing like drawing arcs from sideways of the line. So bisecting a line is also wrong. Drawing a perpendicular to a given line. When we are to draw perpendicular to a given line, we also need to draw arcs different from these ones. So this is also making it incorrect. So the answer is bisecting a given angle. Our right answer is bisecting a given angle. The answer there is bisecting a given angle. So we look at the second quiz question. Which of the following angles can be constructed by using the arcs at point C in the diagram below? We have the arc, that is the blue ones, at point C in the diagram below. Which of them can be constructed? Which of the angles can be constructed with this arc? First, what do we have? We have a perpendicular bisector of line AB. When we mean a perpendicular bisector, it's a line that meets another, divides another line into two equal halves, and the point of intersection of the line is 90 degrees. Meaning, a 90 degrees is constructed with the dotted line. Then, what do we have next? We have two other arcs drawn. The green arcs is at the point of the vertex where the two lines meet, the dotted line and the other line. So the green arcs are made. So on the green arc, you can tell is where is used as the center, and the blue arcs are made. So meaning 90 degrees is bisected there. So if 90 degrees is bisected, the answer cannot be 90. And if 90 is bisected, it cannot also be 30. Because if we bisect 90, half of 90 is 45. So our right answer there is 45. It cannot be 60, it cannot be 75. So the right answer for this question is 45. So this brings us to the end of the lesson. Thank you for your kind attention.